Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome on back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. It's getting pretty exciting, actually. The Club World Cup, seeing all the squad out there, players joining like Sara Sugo, returning players like Santos. Very, very exciting indeed. And seeing Penders join, the giant goalkeeper. Of course, we're playing LAFC tomorrow. It's very, very exciting, actually. I didn't think I'd be so gassed, but as the tournament's coming closer, understanding how you could come up against, City, Real Madrid, or Messi and Inter Miami, which is a little bit of a novelty. It's actually pretty cool. And like the fact how Bayern Munich are playing Auckland, who are like 4,600 ranked FIFA rankings, who are amateurs, you might think it's a bit of a farce, but actually it's freaking wicked that they get to play Bayern Munich. It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity for them. And I know cynical reasons, the whole affair, it's Infantino, who's a bit of a knobber. It's his project to make loads of money and whatever. We're not going to get into that. Let's just talk about the exciting side. Of course, Chelsea's roster of midfielders is nothing short of world class now. I want to actually pose that question. Does Chelsea have the best midfield in world football? Surely you can't be saying such things. Well, we'll make a case for it. I do want to speak about Mike Penders as well. Of course, he's out, all smiles. Petrovic has been left at home. But young Mike Penders, how old is he? 19, 20 years old? He is apparently got the capacity to be amazing. Who knows what he could do out in the Club World Cup in terms of potentially impressing the coaches, his teammates, Chelsea fans at large, the hierarchy, the owners. We'll do a little bit of fun in terms of finding out about him. I know it's often about a lot of nonsense, but I just thought it was funny to read an AI overview of Mike Penders. And of course, we're playing LAFC. I'm not going to do a proper match preview because it's like absolutely no idea who's going to play, but we can talk about it a little bit briefly as well. Guys, so welcome back to Football Therapy. Thank you as always for coming to hang out with me. It's most appreciated. I really do like to see you guys returning, so thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. We are doing really well on the subscription front. In fact, while I'm talking to you now, I'm going to double check to tell you at time of recording, we have 194,830 subscribers, which means we're 170 off 195,000, which is incredible, so thank you so much for that. That being said, let's get into it. Alrighty. Yes, man. So I wanted to talk about the midfield. I've spoken recently about how the defense is good at Chelsea, despite the shortcomings of Robert Sanchez for the majority of last season when he was trying to play Maresca ball. He did loads of errors leading to goal. Chelsea still had the third best defense in the Premier League. You can win the Premier League with the third best defense if you score a lot of goals. I think we will score more goals next season. And I think we could even get an even better defense. Hopefully with a new goalkeeper. But with the functionality, midfields are so important for defense. And with everyone's fit, the Chelsea aren't going to buy a midfielder. And I tell you why. Because the midfielders for the Champions League and Premier League next season will be Enzo Fernandez, who's amazing. Everyone's accepted he's world class now, right? Right? Or maybe not. I understand there's a big arguments in the comments about world class. I think he is. This guy starts for Argentina when he's not getting red cards. He's played as the deeper slide playmaker because his passes are so good. He's played as just a sort of CDM, although it's probably his weakest position because his tackling isn't great. But as a sort of number 8 or a box crasher, he's incredible. He's a leader. He's just a very, very good footballer. Of course, he's an over £100 million man. Similarly, Caicedo, people finally starting to give Caicedo his flowers outside of Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea's player of the season, a player's player, fans player, multiple award winner, always available. Just can do everything. He can break up play. He can do interceptions, tackles, high turnovers. He's good at passes. He's good at sort of vertical through balls and can score worldies. He's a bit of a leader himself. So those two high cost midfielders, I think finally people have stopped bantering Chelsea for paying a lot of money for them, and they're like, yeah, they're both good and they're both still young, so they're going to get even better. So what have we supplemented these guys with? Well, I tell you what, Lavia, who has the footballing streets, you've got people like you know, we've seen him. We know he makes those line-splitting passes. We know he's a different profile to the other guys. I always say he's a bit like Kovacic in terms of being press resistant on the ball and dribbling out of play. Still very, very youngest of the lot, I think. Well, Santos is, I think. Him and Santos. And, you know, you got people like Cole Palmer saying he thinks he's one of the best midfielders in the world. You don't know about him yet. You don't know about him yet. Cole Palmer's saying this in Chelsea media to the Chelsea fans. Like, this guy is the truth. Wait until you see more of Romeo Lavia. He's going to, like, you know, blow your minds. This midfield is starting to get very, very hard to get into. And, of course, Andre Santos, who, you know, is called up to the first Brazil team. He's captained youth Brazil teams to championships. From midfield, scoring loads of goals from midfield. His defensive stats are amazing. A lot of people are making cases for Santos being the second midfielder name on the team sheet behind Moises Caicedo, who I think everyone agrees, as Chelsea's player of the season, is the first midfielder name on the team sheet. Probably the first name on the team sheet at the moment, even over the likes of Cole Palmer and Reece James, dem man. So suddenly, you've got these four midfielders in Fernandes, Caicedo, Santos, and Lavia, who offer you elite quality. Absolutely elite, top-tier quality. You know, you've got, like, PSG and Bayern Munich trying to buy Santos, who's not really been a proper, you know, feature in Chelsea's team yet. This is who we're talking about, this young player. He's joining the likes of Lavia, Caicedo, and Fernandes. And, of course, though we're yet to see him play, we finally got that rotational backup for Caicedo in Dario Sugo, who, yes, we won't know until we see him play in a Chelsea shirt. But there's been a lot of really positive press about Dario, about he's really strong, he's a fighter, he's, you know, a really good young player. How old is he? I think he's really young. I mean, if we know Chelsea, he's young. He's 20. He's 20 years old, but he's built like an absolute tank. He's ready to, like, fight for Chelsea, and he is just sort of a bit more of a conventional destroyer, central defensive midfielder, which is precisely what we need to alleviate what has been an insane load of work for Moises Caicedo in the midfield. So it's really, really worth speculating. Look, what are the best midfielders in the world? PSG. They've just won the Champions League, and of course they've also won the Nations League, the Porto Neves and Vitinha. They are amazing, Neves and Vitinha, and together you'd say elite functionality for the system, for the team. But, like, you know, Ruiz, he's like Ruiz. I don't think he's better than Caicedo or Enzo. And I think because of the plethora of options of those five players, call me biased, but I think Chelsea have the best midfield in Europe, or certainly midfield talent with the highest ceiling and the breast. We all love breast. the best range of attributes and traits, because no matter what you say about the amazing joy to watch PSG midfield, they are still quite diminutive, and, you know, they play through you. But we've got a bit of that. We also can beat the F out of you as well. We can beat you up, which I love and feels proper Chelsea. Right, I did want to speak about Mike Penders as well, because it's not getting necessarily lost in the wash. Everyone's just assuming, and maybe they're right to assume, that he's just going to be loaned to Strasbourg in the absence of Petrovic, and I suppose Petrovic will get sold to, like, a West Ham or whatever, Brentford, whoever's in for him. You know, there's not Champions League clubs that are going in for Petrovic, which is, you know, we're a Champions League club, and maybe that's why we're not guaranteeing him first choice. I'm like you. Let me just nail my colours to the mast very, very quickly. Not all of you, but I'm not interested one iota of having Robert Sanchez as Chelsea's starting goalkeeper going into next season. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Genuinely, if someone said to you, just because I don't know what I've seen, Mike Penders or Rob Sanchez next season, I'd probably just say Penders, even though it's really a dumb thing to say, because he hasn't played at a really high level yet, but he's recognised as this elite talent. Now, I did want to just read to you this AI overview, and yes, AI overview is a Google aggregation of what's being said over the internet, and I just really want to let you know I'm recognising exactly what I'm doing here, but it's a bit of fun. Because I have looked at stats, or, you know, write-ups on him on The Athletic and stuff, and which is fine, but I just thought this was funny. So Mike Penders is a young Belgian goalkeeper recently joined Chelsea from Genk. He's known for his strong command of the penalty area, excellent reflexes, and good distribution skills. Well, he sounds like the perfect goalkeeper. To be honest, just quickly, because this is a real recurring theme on write-ups about him, his strong command of his penalty area, despite being young. He's an effing giant, by the way. He's massive, which is great, you know, because everyone says about Rob Sanchez, he's got a great save on him and he's really big, but kind of that's where it stops. And he didn't command necessarily his penalty area very good. Like, even the likes of Gianluigi Donnarumma, who, of course, is potentially being linked with a move away from PSG. And, like, people are speculating, oh, Chelsea should go in for him. Why aren't Chelsea going in for him? But one thing that's always been put on Donnarumma is, despite being an absolute giant himself, he's massive, he doesn't command his penalty area very well, never has. That's been one of his biggest flaws. So for all this young, and he's still only 26, Donnarumma, he's been literally a first-team goalie in a top 5 league since he was 16, so a decade. Wild. But yeah, Penders, who's only 20, is a very commanding figure. So penalty area command, he excels at claiming high balls in the penalty area, preferring to catch the ball rather than punch it. Love that. Agility and reflexes, he is quick to react to loose balls around the area and demonstrates good timing in those situations. Tick, tick, tick. Distribution, this is a big one. Penders possesses strong distribution skills, which are valuable for starting attacks. Long shot saving. Oh! He is also noted for his ability to save long range shots. Listen, it's the anti-Kepa. It's like, remember when Kepa was in goal, we'd make all these really good reflex saves from close, but if you just got far away, you just take a long shot and it would always get through Kepa. Always. So that's nice. And concentration, he's known for strong focus and concentration, which is crucial for a goalkeeper. And also, it's crucial for a Chelsea goalkeeper, because there'll be games where Chelsea dominate, you won't have anything to do, and then you'll be called into action. And if you're just leading by 1-0, you will need to do something good towards the end. So that's really, really important. So yes, this is the perspective for Chelsea here on AI Overview. Chelsea sees him as a potential long-term solution in goal, despite his relative young age and experience at the highest level. Well, it's saying because he hasn't got the experience yet, it's a long-term thing. But you don't know till you know, of course. The transfer fee of 20 million euros, what's that, 16 million odd quid? Reflects on their belief in his potential. While he may not be an immediate starter, Chelsea are prepared to invest in his development, so it could be Strasbourg. I wonder if he could be a second choice goalkeeper. Who knows, to a Mike Maignan? It's not entirely dead in the water, I've heard. His arrival is seen as a potential solution to address some of the defensive uncertainties Chelsea have faced in recent seasons, particularly in set-piece situations. Yes, so he is being earmarked by Chelsea as the long-term solution. They want to be really careful how they deal with his development. I'll reiterate and regurgitate what Matt Law said on the London is Blue pod about how Chelsea are mindful to not send him away on loan for 2 or 3 years and do what they did with Courtois. He's going to be the second coming of Courtois, which is make him fall in love with another city, find a woman, have some kids there, return to Chelsea, and his heart's elsewhere, and he just doesn't want to be at Chelsea. So they need to keep him connected to Chelsea, maybe send him away for 1 season. I think that's why they're thinking, you know, put Mike Maignan on a 2-year deal, let him be in next season's Champions League campaign, you know, see what Penders is doing, maybe bring Penders in. But I did want to speak about it just in case he does start a lot of games in the Club World Cup. If they like the look of him in training, I don't know, he plays a game against Real Madrid or Man City where he plays well, he makes some crucial saves, and they start looking around at each other, Chelsea, like, do we just do this? Is this guy okay? It's just a theory. Who knows? Alright, so we are playing LAFC. LAFC. Olivier Giroud and Hugo Lloris are playing. I must say, I do not know any of the other players. I'm looking now on their last game, MLS game, against Sporting KC, which I'm assuming is Kansas City, yes? They won 3-1. Olivier Giroud coming off the bench to score there. Lovely stuff. 3-1, they play a 4-1-4-1 formation. Let's just see how they did with stats. Wow, they dominated. 22 shots to 5, 9 shots on target to 2, and yeah, majority of possession. So I guess they are a good team. Is that like a way of me seeing MLS table? Because the MLS is it going on at the moment? Like, I know the Gold Cup's going on. I mean... Oh yeah, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, 5th in the yeah. So matches played, they've only 16, so they're still going. They're top 5 in the Western Conference, but they got a couple games in hand, which would see them go into 3rd. A good team by all accounts, by MLS standards, and. It would be silly, really, for me to speculate on who is going to start. I mean, we want to see Liam Delap start. We want to see maybe Sarr and Asugo. Or do they look at LA and think, actually, this is a good team. This is like, do we wait until we play the Tunisian team before we see Asugo and Sarr? Maybe we start Nico Jackson and bring Delap off the bench at 60 minutes. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. I think because they do, Chelsea genuinely really want to take this competition seriously and win it. And if that is the case, then it isn't pre-season friendly where you just start all the kids. You do see like Caicedo and Fernandez and Jackson and Palmer, and maybe it's Delap off the bench. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Comment on everything I've spoken about, the midfield, and Penders, and indeed the game coming up. I'll be very interested to hear your thoughts. Other than that, man, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I do hope to see you come back here. A little reminder now you're at the end of the vid. Daily content on the second channel, Football Yannick, as well. Go check that out if you want other footballing content that's not related to Chelsea, but made by yours truly. Alright, mate, enjoy the football. See you soon. Peace.